Okay, folks, I'm loving this. The meltdown. I mean, look, when Trump gets into office, here's the thing. Because yeah, I would be surprised if Trump doesn't win this, right? But I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Biden. I'm voting third party and independent. The meltdown. Colin, you said you didn't watch the debate. Well, I had to watch snippets of it just so I could be ready for it. And there's so much that I wish I could talk about. I mean, what more? I just feel correct. And doing my victory run, somebody said, "Hey, Kit, did you see the meltdown?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" The media, they're
Yeah.
in full blown panic.
Chaos mode.
Oh, oh, I'm feasting. I'm making a beef. You know what? After I'm done editing this show, I'm gonna watch some Hell's Kitchen. See Gordon Ramsay make some, beef Wellingtons. I might watch some Master Chef with Marco and him giving his death stares because you know something. This is how I feel looking at all the liberals and media melting down. Like, I told you, you freaking donuts. I, t- I, t- I, I told you. I told you this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. So see, so if there's any conservatives or Trumps that are going to be doing like the clips of the media meltdown, just be sure to have clips of me laughing at people crying. Because the only thing I'm going to be feeling sad about for election night is how third parties will perform. But what I am going to enjoy is stuff like this. Hold on. We're feasting, people. All you beautiful people watching, we're feasting. Just remember, you're not these losers. And you never will be. You want to know why? Because all of you are smarter than them. These people in corporate media are not serious people.
There is no two ways about it. That was not a good debate for Joe Biden.
Ben? That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden.
Cry, Van Jones, cry.
He didn't do well at all.
Cry.
He did not do well at all, and he looked. I'll give you the analysis. You kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy.
Aww.
That's a good man.
Aww.
He loves his country.
Aww.
He's doing the best that he can.
Yeah.
But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base, and he failed to do that. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. We're still far from our convention, and there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that. But that was not what we needed from Joe Biden, and it's personally painful for a lot of people. It's not just panic, it's pain of what we saw tonight.
Can you pause a second? Oh, it's done.
It's done. It's done. Hold on.
If Biden cared about the people, he will not be complicit in the genocide. If Biden really cared about the people, he would have fought to give people a $15 minimum wage. If Biden cared for the people, he would have fought to get a public option, which we know is the middle ground, but that's what he promoted in the last term leading up to his presidency now. So we have none of those things. And Palestinians are currently being slaughtered with our tax dollars right now. Biden doesn't give a shit about them or us. And shout out to Indian Reef, because I did see this clip last night and I had some choice words that I'm not going to repeat here. But Ben, you sucker. I'm going to be nice and say that. Like,
can I be mean?
This cat is always crying.
Can I be mean?
Oh
can
my
I be
God,
mean?
Biden, I love him. Like, just
Colin,
how far down your throat is that boot, sir?
Oh, there's something else down his throat. But look, let's talk about Van Jones. You want to know what Van Jones reminded me of in that clip? He reminded me of Samuel L. Jackson's character from Django Unchained. Oh, Biden, why? There's so much pain. What's going to happen to Candyland?
One of my cousins told me, and my cousin, he's probably more centrist, but he definitely gets like kind of what I say in terms of left issues. But even he has said to me, like, knowing what I do here and kind of what I want to do in the future in terms of organizing and all that. Even my cousin told me, if you ever become like Van Jones, I'm going to kick your ass. Like,
Your cousin's a good person. Thank you.
Yes.
And if you ever become like Van Jones, I have to fight you. And I
Yeah.
encourage him. No.
yeah, and I encourage all of you, if I ever sell out in that way, to please call me out on it, please. But I don't plan to do that anytime soon, given how close I am to the struggle. But no, like, this cat always crying every time. Like,
Oh, but
Y-
there's more. There's more that happened. There's so much more that happened. Because yes, we're gonna go back and forth. Because we forgot our friends at BSDNC. Hey, you want to see mental gymnastics, folks? Enjoy this feast. Watch this. And Maddow, she can't say anything. Maddow, don't worry. You're gonna win too, because now you got nothing but segments to talk about Trump.
Right.
They both don't buy themselves. So Maddow, you're still winning.
In a slight cold as well. So I understand not feeling well. And, obviously Joe Biden comes in with certain deficits. He has a stutter. It is more difficult for him to communicate for that reason. So there's a lot to mitigate the way that he speaks, and you can understand it. And we've observed him for a long time. That said, I too was on the phone throughout much of the debate with Obama world people, with Democrats, with people who are political operatives, with campaign operatives. My phone really never stopped buzzing throughout. And the universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic.
I would have loved to have seen all their faces as their phones were blowing up.
The people who were texting with me were very concerned about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak. And, I'll just reiterate what I said earlier. President Biden had one job tonight, and it was one primary job. And yes, it was to litigate Donald Trump's, criminality and all of those things. But he had to settle his own party. Mm-hmm. He needed to settle Democrats. Democrats, they always talk about Democrats are bedwetters and Democrats are always panicking. Yes, Democrats are always panicking. They're always scared, right? They're always thinking they're going to lose. Like, Democrats are very pessimistic. This is just neurotic. Who they are. They're neurotic.
Yeah, it's neurotic. And you want to know why they did this to themselves? They could have easily won. But instead they chose to be pragmatic corporate sellouts who gladly sell themselves to corporations. So I'm glad that they're panicking. And I told them that they were going to be panicking. And me and Colin and all my fantastic friends are laughing at you. Go ahead, crawl to us and beg us to vote for Biden. I just want to hear you say it to me. I'm waiting to hear it.
Oh no, I'm sure that's going to happen within now, because I'm sure they got their talking points more succinct now. So I'll give it a day or two, but I'm sure that for now they're going to double down and be like,
I have a question.
Yes,
I have a question in my live stream chat. Where are my liberal trolls at? I had a few liberal trolls here. Hero, Scruffapone, where are you? Oh, I'm sure they'll show up. Guys, if they do, just be nice. Don't be mean. Hug them. They're hurting right now.
Joe Biden's job was to reassure them tonight. His job was to calm his party, to make them feel that, yes, I can do this. I have 4 more years in me. I have the ability and the stamina and the strength to do 4 more years. He did not do that. He did the opposite of that. He made them more panicked. The people who were texting me were even more panicked. They actually expected it to be better than it was. And now they're in I won't say a full-fledged panic, but it's getting there.
And are people that you're talking to who are expressing these concerns, are these people who are involved in Democratic politics, or are these liberals watching TV?
These are not liberals watching TV. These are campaign people. These are people who are either Democratic operatives. These are people who are former, sort of Obama world administration people. These are people who are in the business. Okay. So the civilians are also panicking. They're also texting me, but I was trying to kind of ignore the civilians and really talk to the campaign folks. People are... they're worried, and there is, it's not a full drumbeat yet, but there is talk of, look, here's the thing. I know a lot of politicians. I just happen to know a lot of them at a lot of levels. They all believe that they have a unique ability to run the race that they passionately want to run. And I know for a fact that
They're not running anything. They're following orders. Of course, you know politicians because you have access to them, lady. That's just the crying mentality. Colin, my friend,
Yes, sir.
what do you think of BSDNC's wonderful little table as they're panicking? I
It's
mean,
interesting
they're scared. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's interesting that Joy Reid, out of like, talked to this person, this person, this person. You notice who she didn't say. She didn't talk to regular people, and she's not going to.
No,
But
why would she ever?
no, but
They
it's
would
the
never do
idea of
that.
like, I mean, I saw Twitter blow up, like to the point where like even some of my liberal acquaintances that I know on Twitter or not in real life were freaking out over Biden. And many of these people are basically Dem loyalists to the T. So if they are freaking out, then there's a problem. So, so as I said, I think things are changing now in terms of, like they didn't have their talking points together. Some people were saying this, other people were saying that. So it was just a big old mess last night through early this morning, which was wonderful for me, just kind of seeing the confusion. I think things are going to start calming down now because now they realize that, oh shit, like we have some work to do over the next few weeks in order to get himself ready for the DN. But when I say getting ready, what I mean is how they're going to hide Biden, or I'm guessing
I know what they're going to do.
As they can
Way ahead
for
of
the
you.
next few weeks.
I know what they're going to do. Here's what's happening here in Chicago. Now, obviously, a couple people of independent media, Matt Weingate will be here. There'll also be Pasta from the Convo Couch. He'll be here. I know Russell from Due Dissidence will be here. I think Jimmy Dore will also be here. A lot of people from independent media are going to be here. But what I want to say to everybody watching, yes, Hard Lens Media will be covering the DNC convention, but half of it potentially could be online. And the other part of it is that they're going to be controlling who can get in and which members of the press can get in, because people who I've talked to who are in media here in Chicago, who have a little bit higher standing. Yes, we have press credentials too. Even they can't get in. There is a whole control narrative, and with this control narrative causes desperation, to which I have to pull this up here because it's not only liberal media having a meltdown, it's also the titans of the quote unquote progressive media, independent media, like Hassan, Cenk's nephew. The most Democratic Party move would be to swap out Biden for Hillary Clinton.
He has to be joking.
He has to be. And even, hey, look, it's dime store M&M secular talk. I mean, at this point, I'll take it.
I tweeted this at Kyle. Aren't you supposed to be supporting Jill Stein?
No.
Didn't you quote unquote endorse her?
Do that. He wasn't gonna do that.
No, I know, but it's like you
Come
were
on.
able to talk about. You were able to give her that nice birthday message and be like, "Yeah, I support you and keep going and all that kind of stuff." And like,
no.
And like talking to Indy about it, like he called that out from the jump. He was like, "That's not a true endorsement. They're not really endorsing her." But even now, it just kind of shows how much of a flip-flopper he is in order to kind of either save face or to kind of make the appeal to whatever progressive audience that Kyle has left. But yeah. Do you want a repeat of 2016?
Well,
I guess they do.
Well, hold on. Speaking of repeats, sometimes you gotta bring out that old dog, because Fat Tony had a big brain statement on Twitter. Let's get this party started right. I officially nominate Bernie Sanders. To which I had to respond to this. No, dumbass. Bernie's a cuck. Which it's look. Hey, that's my in-depth analysis right there. Bernie's a nutless wonder. But if you want to see somebody panic, you want to see hypocrisy, here's Cenk on TYT of all places. This is the guy that told us we had to keep our powder dry for forced to vote. This is the guy that talked down to all of us saying that we were being unreasonable because we weren't going to vote for Biden. This is the guy right here, the quote unquote leader of rebel headquarters, now coming to terms and eating crow of How did Trump do during the debate, Fat Tony?
If the Democrats don't replace him, the country will be forced to look at RFK Jr. And I'm forced into that because this guy isn't going to win. Biden is definitely not going to win. It's not even close. If you're because people are in their bubbles so much, I need you to understand what other people outside of your bubble are thinking. Or I ran in that crazy desperate primary campaign against Biden because every time I talked to
Hey, what'd you think of Fat Tony's race?
I forgot he ran.
Oh, I'm having such a good morning.
Seriously, I did. I forgot that was a thing for like 2 seconds. Like, I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, no. Hey, listen, I think a lot of people forgot that, but this is funny. This is the guy who said. By the way, I find it funny that they have the White House being burning in the background. Like, no one cares, Cenk. Like, stop being afraid. Oh, Trump's going to get in the way. I'm not afraid of Trump. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with the whole system being blown up and going belly up. That's fine with me. Why? Because I have no dog in the game of the two-party system. I'm post-duopoly, as should all of you be.
non-political people, I would ask them, what do you think of Biden? What do you think of Trump, right? 100 out of 100 said he's too old about Biden. And they're like, he's weak, he's old, I'm worried about him. When a rando that doesn't follow politics says about your candidate, I'm worried about him. Not like worried for the country, like I'm worried for his health. You got the wrong candidate.
Oh, what a shame. They got the wrong candidate. Well, here's another thing. I want to pull up this video here from Case Study QB. Because again, they keep on talking about how they love the guy. Again, more of our friend Crybaby Van Jones.
Oh,
God,
God.
if you love the guy, how could you put him out there?
That's
If you love him, if you love Joe Biden, if that was my father, you don't put a guy in that situation.
Well,
It's a great point. These guys know this better.
Yeah,
These guys know this better because they talk to them. There's this legacy in the Democratic Party. You don't challenge the incumbent because when it's happened in the past, they haven't beaten the incumbent, and then the incumbent has lost the general
It was
election.
actually Donald Trump that helped make Joe Biden the nominee because there was a feeling that if there were a primary, that would weaken, that Biden would probably win, but it would weaken him in a general election. And so there were people who could have run and didn't run because the history of that is bad. The point is now he is the
History and culture. It's so bad to actually challenge an old dog who doesn't know where he's at anymore. It's bad policy, Colin. It's bad policy to think with your brain. It's bad policy. Everybody stop asking questions. Just shut up and follow orders.
Right.
nominee of the Democratic Party. This isn't the 60s, okay? Voters choose the nominee. He is the nominee. Only he can decide.
No, we don't.
Going to continue.
Whoa!
No,
That was a lie right there.
No, we don't.
Hey, we pick? No, we're participants.
No,
It's the super
if
delegates.
that was the case, you would have had primary debates with, and they're not good, but Marianne Williamson, Booby, and what's the other guy's name? Dean.
Dean Phillips. Yeah, Dean Phillips. Yeah.
Like that would have happened months ago. But you guys basically put your foot down and basically were like, nope, we're not having any debates. We're not having any primaries. Biden is our guy. And now you basically fucked up in terms of basically Biden shitting the bed, literally, probably. And now you have to try and clean up the mess. But no, like, even if that were the case, we know that the DNC selects the nominee. Like, I'm seeing on Twitter, like, these wannabe, like, Democratic stands who are trying to apply or at least get into that delegate position, you know, like, with the purpose of voting for Biden because they're just sold out to the establishment. Like, it's ridiculous that it's even a thing that people now are considering that, or at least they're saying that, oh, we get to vote for the nominee. Like, I didn't even bother voting in DC when our primaries came because You don't need my vote. Like, you already said that Biden's going to be the nominee. So why would I take that waste of time to go in and vote for a guy that you claim to be the nominee anyway? So it's a sham.
Yeah. I also want to acknowledge just like a few things in here real quick. Roger Meadows, who tipped $2 on Rockfin, said Van giving us his special rendition of Steve from Django, loving his racist slave master. Gotta love Roger Meadows. If you're not following him, please do so. And Roger Meadows also tipped $2 too and said, Kit, we all saw this decline in 2020. Castro called us out in a debate and the crowd jeered him for it, but they feared Bernie so much that they trashed him and us, his former supporters. Now they are suffering from their own karma, as they should. And I want to pull up this little tweet here. Shout out to Nico House who retweeted this. I literally said they were going to use delegates to swap out Biden less than a week ago, and on my live show last week. But they have to wait until the convention so they don't leave the new candidate vulnerable to criticism, which I see happening. Keaton, if you're watching, hey buddy, you hit the nail on the head. I 100%, because I thought the Democrats were just going full on through. I knew that the debates were going to be bad, but hey, you know what? I'm loving that it turned out to be up to 11, because Brianna Joy Gray tweeted this out. Joyanne Reed says she got a text from a delegate. We delegates may need to take things into our own hands. She also the only one on the MSNBC panel who brought up Gaza, to which I have to say, listen, corporate media, liberals, vote blue no matter who, people. Eat the crow. Me and Colin and everybody else, including my live stream audience, we're happy. Again, like how I started the segment off, looking you right in the eye. Van Jones, cry. Fat Tony, you went to bat for him. Cenk, I'm talking to you. You went to bat for this guy. Hassan, Kyle, I hope you're joking about the whole thing about Hill Dog. But you know what? Is that who you want to bet on? Fine. Get that repeat of 2016. We are laughing at you, you donuts. We are laughing at you, you idiots. Okay? All you political analysis experts who said that Biden was going to be the guy, you are proven wrong. So vote blue no matter who. I'm looking forward to you guys bullying us. I'm looking forward to you guys begging. I'm waiting to see you guys cry. And I say this right now. Corporate media is not filled with serious people. These pundits, these analysis people are not serious. To you, my audience, vote however which way you want. In fact, I want you to take the title double hater and run with it. Live rent-free in these liberals' heads. And just to end this segment on a good note, Colin, I want to give you the final word because I got one more final video for corporate media.
It's
Colin?
interesting to see, and people are not necessarily talking about this. You don't see this kind of chaos generally among Republicans.
No, you don't.
You don't. Even if they have their issues privately, you will never know it, because publicly they have a united front. It's the Democrats that always shows their cards and shows how inconsistent bastards they are in terms of, like, they cannot even get themselves together for policy, much less get themselves together in terms of riding behind the guy that they claimed to us and yelled at us was the ultimate nominee to defeat Trump. And now, as you said, they're eating crow. And now over the next few weeks, decisions will have to be made. So it'll be very interesting to see what they're going to say and how things evolve quickly within the next few weeks before the convention. But you're right. I think it's going to be very interesting. But I think as a result, there's going to be a lockout, as you said. And I think also with protests too, I think that's the added.
They are locked out. They are already locked out. I can confirm that too. And there's a few of them suing the city of Chicago right now.
Right. So it's a perfect storm of their own making in terms of they're locking out people, they're locking out the press in order to try to clean up the mess, as they either stick with Biden and just double down, or they do some switcheroo and trying to figure out the talking points of what they're going to use. If Kamala is not going to be the president, then having to figure that out. So it's going to be interesting. But as I said in the last segment, we're the ones that are going to suffer regardless. So,
but we can at least enjoy their suffering, at least corporate media crying, because you want to know why? This video right here, corporate media. After last night, I'm sure this is how all of you felt.
Oof. 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 Oof.
And it's priceless. Folks, listen, on election night, yes, we're the American people are the biggest losers because we got two parties that don't care about us. But at least make election night your night. I'm going to cook myself a nice dinner and watch how everybody cries, especially corporate media, because this meltdown was priceless, but it's the appetizer. Soon we get the main course. And folks, 10 out of 10, it's going to be beautiful.